The mob intended to beat Paul to death, but they didn't want to do it on the temple grounds because that would defile the temple. That shows you where their heart is. Which do you think is the greater sin? Defiling the temple or the non-judicial killing of a fellow Jew without a trial? This is what Jesus was talking about way back in his ministry. You strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. A brief word on the mob. You read about the mob a lot in the New Testament. If you ever find yourself in a large group of people who are becoming emotionally whipped up, as a Christian, you need to get yourself out of there. Because what happens in a mob is they stop thinking and they pick up a collective mentality called a herd mentality. And before you know it, if you don't get out of that, you will find yourself moving in a direction and headed off to do something that you would never have signed up for had you not gotten caught up in that mob. Christians do not riot against the government. Romans 13 says that we are to submit ourselves to the government. In all things except for one case. If the law of the government says that you are to do or not to do something that is against the will of God, then you are duty bound as a citizen of heaven not to follow that law. But wait, even in that exception, if you do not follow the law for reason of that exception, you are still subject to whatever punishment the government puts on you for having disobeyed it. Because earthly government is ordained by God. Hear me now. Christians do not riot. Christians do not become violent against the government. But some governments are bad. Do not riot against the government.